If you've ever felt like something's missing in your connection with your partner, or maybe you're craving for a deeper conversation and closeness, then this video is for you. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Gladys on Love. Today, we're diving into one of the most beautiful and transformative part of any relationship, emotional intimacy. In this video, I'm going to share how you can build emotional intimacy by holding space for each other and sharing what I call the micro truth. Micro truth are the little things that we often keep to ourselves, like small feelings, thoughts, or stories in our minds. And sharing them can actually create a powerful magic in our relationship. And I'm very excited to go deeper about this topic. So let's get started. First, let's talk about creating a safe space. Now, emotional intimacy starts when both of you feel that you can express yourselves without fear of judgment. It doesn't mean that you always agree with each other. It just means that you listen with an open heart and mind. Like when your partner shares how they feel instead of jumping into fixing it, explaining yourself, or defending yourself, just try a different approach by being present. Take a breath and really listen and let them feel seen. Sometimes the best thing that we can say is, I hear you and thank you for sharing that with me. That's a very good way of acknowledging and empathizing with them. And again, it's not about having the perfect response, it's just about holding space for them and inviting them to be more honest and vulnerable. And I'll share an example later on of what I mean by holding space. But for now, let's talk about how to listen. Active listening is such a simple thing, but also very easy to forget. When your partner is talking, instead of planning a response or thinking about how you feel, focus fully on them. Make eye contact and nod and let them know that you're there. One of the best things that you can do is ask clarifying question. For example, you might say, can you tell me more about that? Or what do you mean by that? Staying curious like this shows your partner that you care about understanding them, and it helps you connect on a much deeper level. And here is where the magic happens, sharing micro truths. I first came across this idea when Eli and I read the book Conscious Loving by Gay and Kathleen Hendricks. And it completely changed the way I think about emotional intimacy. Micro truths are, as I've said earlier, those little thoughts, feelings, or stories running through your mind. They might seem small or unimportant, but when you share them, they can create a huge sense of connection. For example, you might say, I felt a little nervous about bringing this up. Or I noticed I was telling myself a story about what you said earlier. These small truths open the door to a deeper conversation and help you both feel safer being vulnerable. And the more you share these little pieces of yourself, the more you get to know each other, not just who you are, but who you're growing into together. So let me just give you an example of putting that concept and applying it into reality. One thing that comes to mind is when Eli and I walked in the park and Eli made a comment to this woman like, oh, look at her, babe. She looks very good. She's really in shape. You can really tell that she's maybe going to the gym, working her glute, and that comment that Eli made me feel something. It stirs something inside me. And there's this emotion of annoyance, anger, and jealousy. And as we walk, Eli noticed that I stopped talking. I didn't even make a comment in what he just said. So he asked me, "Is there anything wrong? What's going on? What's going on with you? You're not talking anymore." And that was an opportunity for me to really share the micro truth, lean towards being more honest and vulnerable to how I feel. And I told him, well, the comment that you did earlier made me feel something. It throws me out of my mood. And Eli responded, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't mean to make you feel that way." And that for me is acknowledgement. That for me is him opening and holding a safe space for me to share more how I feel. And then he asked me, "Can you tell me more about it? What is it that you're actually feeling?" And that question invites me to share more. He's willing to listen, he's willing to understand me. So I open up, like, I'm not really sure. I think the story that I'm telling myself is that, I haven't been to the gym, I'm out of shape. And I guess I'm insecure because if I look at myself and that woman looks better than I do. And that's because I haven't been working out. And Eli would respond like, "No, babe, you still look great. Your ass still looks good. And we can always just go to the gym or we can go running." And that just cheers me up. Now, from being upset, I'm starting to feel a little better. That is because of how you open and how you have the conversation, making it feel safe for each other to share how they truly feel, not making it about you and defending yourself, but actually getting curious to your partner and trying to understand where is the feeling coming from. That conversation really went well, but there's definitely other times that it didn't go well. So I can see the contrast of both experience, and it takes a while to actually be better at this. And one of the tools that have helped me and Eli really cultivate emotional intimacy is using the dyad exercise of expressing your desires, fears, and love. And I created a separate video about that and also a sample of me and Eli doing it together. So feel free to check it out if you want to apply that within your relationship so you can practice how to hold space for each other, be more in the active listening side, and also being able to share vulnerably what you really feel. I hope that this video is helpful for you. And I'm also curious, what are your ways of building emotional intimacy with your partner? And or what are the challenges that you're experiencing right now when it comes to emotional intimacy? Feel free to share it in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe and notification button so you will be notified for the upcoming video. And if you want to go deeper into cultivating emotional intimacy, I do one-on-one coaching. And I also run a program, the Intimate Lover Program and Irresistible You. If you want to know more about that, feel free to email me at gladysonlove@gmail.com. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Mwah.